This is the heart of the tanning district, widely viewed as being one of the most polluted places on Earth. And there are chemicals everywhere. I smell chemicals. It totally pervades the air. I feel like I'm breathing them in. My throat burns. I feel it in my eyes. So this is not a healthy place to be. And yet there are 180,000 people that live around here. Almost 20,000 work here in the tanneries and get exposed to this every day.
If you go to the Hazaribagh tannery, if you see how people are living there are small children who are passing through the tannery area every day to go to the school, and they have lost their sensory adaptation. They can't smell anymore. It's totally gone.
The physicians said people often come to them with gastric, with ulcer, with chest pain, and obviously with skin diseases and some diseases like cancer. So they're suffering a lot.
Local people won't complain because they know that even if they complain, there is hardly any relief. But I think the consumers have a big role to play there, because your consumption pattern doesn't have to be responsible only. You have to make sure that it's not exploitative.
Big box retailers from the West look to Bangladesh for low-cost, high-output leather products and clothing. The cost and human suffering producing cheap clothing has been well documented. But for global brands that buy clothing from Bangladeshi factories, pollution rarely gets the same attention as workplace conditions. And local environmentalists say global buyers have done far too little.
Accident happened in the garment sector, like Rana Plaza accident, where more than 1,000 people died. After that, I found in Twitter, in social media, a lot of criticism against those, retailers who are buying from Bangladesh, who are buying from those garments. So there are a lot of criticism. And I would say, the buyer from the West, you want cheaper clothes, you cannot, pollute our environment. Buying these cheap clothes, they are also responsible because they are pushing these industrialists for more and more cheaper clothes. And this is a question of ethics. They are not caring about environment. They somehow just want to, make their production cost cheap and cheaper.
Here in Bangladesh, a country that's widely known for producing low-cost jeans, shirts, T-shirts, people around the world buy them. But the reality is that low-cost clothing has a very high cost attached to it. Look at what we've seen from both an environmental and public health perspective. It's a calamity, and this kind of disaster is something that I've seen on river after river after river. So once again, I think a key point is that there's often a very high cost attached to low-cost clothing.
Just because you want to get something at a lower price doesn't mean you would allow a precious resource like river to be destroyed. Doesn't mean you would allow people to die in some other part of the world because they don't have a regular health monitoring system. And you would never know that by buying something at a lower price, you're actually contributing to the death, illness, suffering of people in some other part of this world.